Right, hands up, who's got a streaming amp at home? Well, no, actually, I haven't, I will admit. I can't see down the internet either, so I don't know how many hands have gone up, but I'm guessing probably not many yet. Although these days I tend to listen to most of my music streamed, I often listen to it in the office now, where I've got a very nice amp and pair of speakers. My traditional listening space in the living room, where I've got a beautiful amp and speakers, I don't tend to use it. And then I'm streaming from Spotify on my phone, connected to a portable speaker. I can almost feel Andrew wincing as I say that. So it's time we started talking about streaming and streaming amps, because when I've got a lovely hi-fi sitting there doing nothing and I'm streaming off my phone, something feels wrong. So I am delighted to be joined by amp expert turned streaming expert, Andrew Everard. Now, Andrew, you've been reviewing hi-fi kit for 30 years. So what have you got for us today, and why do you want to talk about streaming?
Well, it's a product which I thought wasn't going to happen. It's the Marantz 40n, Model 40n amplifier. When Marantz launched their new style products a year ago, they said, we're only going to do pure analog amplifiers. And all the streaming, well actually streaming in that system was on a SACD player, which also had streaming. But now they've launched an amplifier which also streams. And the question, of course, is, hold on, if you went purist last time round and said you couldn't do this in an amplifier without messing up the sound quality, how have you managed to do it now? And it's actually, they've had these amplifiers further down their range, but they've never had a high-end product. And the question is really, what is it? Is it an amplifier? Is it a streaming system? Well, it's both. They're selling it as a purist amplifier, but they're also, if you look at all their wonderful lifestyle pictures of couples dancing in their living rooms to smoky jazz, it's also a complete system you just need to add speakers to.
And
that's
is that the case? Is it just an add speakers and, you know, slide your old amp out, put a streaming amp in? You might very possibly have a nice pair of speakers already, and
yeah,
we're done.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what it's there for. They've managed to design it so it will drive a wide range of speakers, and they've also managed to get the streaming in without compromising on the basic sound quality.
Can you say how they did that? Because you seem quite clear that a while ago you were saying, no, it's going to compromise the sound quality, but now you're saying it doesn't compromise the sound quality at all.
The thing that gets people's hands thrown up in the air when you're a purist audiophile is you can't have digital and analog in the same box, because the digital interferes with the analog, and you certainly can't have a phono stage for a turntable because the signals there are tiny and are therefore much more prone to being interfered with by the digital section. So what they've done in this product is they've built a box within a box, and then within that box they've built two more boxes, well, three more boxes actually. So the streaming board is in a separate housing, but so is the digital conversion section, and so is the phono stage. Now that'll get some people going, because having the digital converter and the phono stage in the same box is asking for trouble, they'd say. But in fact, it's a box. The streaming section is boxed off from the other two bits, and the other two bits are boxed off from each other. So everything is isolated from everything else.
So does this mean, do you really think that if somebody is thinking of buying a new amp now, they should really seriously ask themselves why they wouldn't buy a streaming amp?
If they stream music, there are still some people who will stick to saying, oh, I only play records, and that's it. In that case, you can do without all the streaming. The advantage of a product like this, though, as you were saying about playing music from your phone, this will actually connect to your home internet and will then stream music direct rather than through your phone, which means higher quality. It means all the pressure is taken off the link between your phone and the amplifier, so you're getting much purer music coming through.
And presumably you can connect via Ethernet as well as stick it on the Wi-Fi?
Yep, Ethernet and Wi-Fi. It's perfectly good with Wi-Fi unless you're streaming very high resolution music, which most people won't. But I mean, I would always go for Ethernet just for stability. I wouldn't go for it on the grounds of sound quality because I'm yet to be convinced that there is a difference. But it will play from Ethernet, from Wi-Fi, from Bluetooth, from AirPlay 2, all those sort of things. And that's what it does.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Now, just before you go, we've had a question in. You were talking about the old days and more modern amps. We've got a question in from Richard, who says, I'm also interested to hear you think the sound quality of current hi-fi compares with, say, a name system from 20 years ago. Does it compare?
Well, I can tell you because I have both. A name system from 20 years ago will still sound better than this, but the name system from 20 years ago probably in real terms now is a £10,000, £15,000 system. This product is £2,199 and you add on your speakers and that's it.
Fabulous. Andrew, thank you so much for that review.
Welcome.
And if you want to read Andrew's written review for this streamer, Michelle's going to put the link to that in the chat, so you can click on that and go to the Sound Advice website and read the written review of the Marantz 40n amp that Andrew just did the review of. And if that particular streamer isn't for you, then we have some other streamer reviews as well. So again, Michelle will paste that link into the chat and you can have a look and compare it to some different streaming amps as well.